AITA for refusing to give my father the house my grandmother left me? Some important context. My father left me when I was 10. I came home from school one day and he was gone and I was alone. My grandmother eventually took me in, but that moment gave me issues that I'm still working through. My grandmother passed away and was buried a couple of weeks ago. I saw my father for the first time in 14 years at his mother's funeral. After the will was read, we learned that my grandmother had left me her property. My father was furious. Apparently he feels he has more rights to her property than I do because she was his mother. He's been harassing me to hand over the property to him and promising that when he dies I can have it. I don't want to give him the property because if my grandmother wanted him to have it she would've put it in her will. My father has been going around telling the family that I stole his mother's property right from under him, and I'm trying to punish him for leaving me. My family have been reaching out to tell me that even if he abandoned me, that I shouldn't forget the importance of filial piety and how being good to my father even if he isn't good to me is what makes a good daughter. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong, but the comments and the suggestions are beginning to wear me down. Am I the asshole? Being good to my father even if he isn't good to me is what makes a good daughter. Why would you want to be a good daughter in these circumstances? It sounds like you hardly know him. NTA. Stay strong. And by the way, that is not what stealing is. Unless you can steal from yourself. NTA. Even if you had suggested that your grandmother disinherit your father for abandoning you, you would not be taught. Your grandmother left her house to you because she wanted you to have it. End of story. Your father must have had little, if any, contact with your grandmother in the past 14 years if she raised you and you didn't see him again until the funeral. His choice to abandon his responsibility to you meant that she ended up taking over. There is zero chance of you inheriting the house when your father dies. If he doesn't sell it and squander the money, it'll be left to a love interest or beer buddy or something. Keep your house. The woman who parented you wanted you to have it. NTA. It was your grandmother's decision. And if your family had any sense, they'd see straight through your father's BS and support you. You are NTA. You owe your father nothing for walking out on you. Don't even engage with him. Block his number if you have to. If he attempts to confront you in person, walk away. Put all your relatives on blast and tell them that the matter has been decided, that you're keeping the house, and that you will block anyone who attempts to continue discussing the topic. A fire can't burn without oxygen, so starve this issue of all its fuel. NTA. Tell him that if his mother wanted him to have it, she would have left it to him. She created a will for a reason. She knew he would do this. She wanted you protected. Explain to him that you'll sell him the house at 5 times the value. If he wants it, he can pay your price. Otherwise, he can go back to wherever it is he came from. And if he attempts to contact you again, you'll call the police and get a restraining order. NTA. Filial piety is laughable coming from someone who literally abandoned you. Filial piety is based on paying your parents back for the sacrifices they made while raising you. Your dad didn't raise you. He left that to his mother. If you owed anyone under a filial piety system, it's her. Block your mooching. Awful father and every relative he sends after you. You stole nothing. Your father is also a known liar. He walked out on you. Is lying about you stealing. He's even lying about leaving you the house in his will. If you give him your house, he can and will leave it to someone else and leave you with nothing. Your grandma had the right of it when she left you her house directly and bypassed your dad when he abandoned you. He also abandoned her. You are her heir, not him. You have always been a good daughter. You were a good daughter when he abandoned you. And you were a good daughter to your grandmother, the parent who showed up for you and raised you. You don't have to jump through any imaginary hoops for your awful father and idiot relatives. You are good enough. You are a good daughter. You owe him less than nothing. It's a shame you suck as a daughter. But what you gonna do about it? Have a nice cup of tea in your house full of memories. That's what. NTA. And S for any dry brains out there. NTA. See a lawyer. He may owe your grandmother. And thus you back child support. Also, you may be able to sue him for abandonment, child endangerment, and now harassment. Make it uncomfortable enough for him and he may crawl back under his rock. NTA. OMG. Your father is literally a selfish deadbeat dad. Girl, please do not hand over that property. It is legally yours. Get a restraining order against him, and if he sets foot on your property, then he can be escorted off. You do not owe him anything. Stay strong. If you don't have a support system around you, just reach out on here. We'll be your support system. Keep that house. Live your life with happiness, purpose, and complete confidence. He made his life choices and they aren't your problem. NTA. She gave it to you. She could have given it to him and she chose not to. She probably feels bad that her son's a deadbeat loser and decided to take care of you herself in the future. Ignore him. Ghost him. Do not respond to a single text regarding him. He deserves nothing from you. Not even a single second of your time. Info. Your family is quick to intervene in this dispute. It makes me wonder, where were they when your father abandoned you? Did they put just as much pressure on him to come back and support you over the last 14 years? If so, then why did they think their efforts failed? And if not, then why not? If they are going to judge you for not putting your father's needs above theirs, then I think they deserve some judgment right back. NTA. Fuck the rest of your family. What is wrong with them? Piety to a person who deliberately chose not to parent you. He's not your father. He doesn't deserve your deference. Keep the house. Your grandmother wanted you to have it. As you said, if she wanted her son to have it, she would have left it to him. These posts always make me sad. Keep the house. Tell your dad to jump off a cliff. And anyone that's on his side can join him. He just wants the assets. And I wouldn't trust his word for shit. He bailed. And only came back for profit. He's pissed his mom wasn't that gullible. She knew you needed something stable after she was gone. And she gave you what she could. She wants you to have it, not him. Do not let him screw you over again. XOXO. I am sorry you have a shitty dad. But you had an awesome grandma. This is a clear and straightforward NTA. He wasn't a dad in any way that matters. And you don't owe him shit. Like you said, if your grandma wanted your dad to have the property, she would have given it to him. Where was your mom in all of this? I can't believe he just left you alone like that. NTA whatsoever. It's also kind of telling that your estranged father didn't make an attempt to get to know you or apologize to. Wasn't named in his mother's will. 3. Decided that manipulating the family into guilting you into relinquishing what is rightfully and legally yours is the right course of action. This person gave you genetics and trauma. He deserves nothing from you and is a selfish and cruel person. Nothing he or anyone else says about you defines you as a person. I'm sorry you're going through this and for the loss of your grandmother. Congratulations on becoming a homeowner and stepping into this newfound chapter in your life. I have found therapy extremely helpful for similar family issues. And I hope whatever path you choose brings you peace. You're going to be okay. Slightly smiling face. Edit. When you sign the documents for the house, please do yourself a favor and either change the locks or get the locks rekeyed. Rekeying is cheaper but effective. You can also invest in a Ring security cam for not a lot of money. I think it will give you peace of mind. NTA He is owed nothing and he deserves even less. Your grandmother on the other hand deserves to have her will respected. NTA Filial piety, my ass. He should have been concerned about family when it counted. Keep the house. Dump the family. Edit to add. Your grandmother left that house to you for a reason. Don't doubt yourself. NTA. It was your grandmother's property and she made her wishes known. So those wishes need to be respected. She deliberately excluded your father from the inheritance. So he doesn't get anything. On top of that, the guy abandoned you when you were 10. Fuck him. Why are you even taking his calls? NTA Fuck them. You're not a bad daughter. He's a bad father. NTA and invest in some good security.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.